The Governor Ames. I worked an incredible number of hours at my job. I was a security consultant and traveled a lot. I was due for a vacation and always fancied a trip to the beach. I found a quiet, isolated house in Roanoke Island, North Carolina. I arrived from Petersburg, Virginia on a Friday and planned to stay all week. I had rented the place all to myself and planned to do some fishing and have a little alone time with Jim Beam. I got the home ready and got my gear set up to do a little fishing and went on my way. I arrived at the beach just a few hundred feet from the home and started to fish. What a relaxing experience. A gentle breeze blowing by, the sandpipers flying overhead. As I cast my pole in the ocean, a few minutes went by. I got a hit. I pulled in a sand shark and was ecstatic. First shark I ever caught. I pulled the hook out and threw him back. I was out later than expected, and I started to head back. I caught 8 fish and would continue fishing tomorrow. As I reached the home, I unloaded my gear and got ready for dinner. I ate outside in the sunroom of the beach house that faced the ocean. It was around dusk, and I noticed a woman walking on the beach. Being bored and nothing interesting being on TV, I decided to go down myself. I took my chair and cooler with me to relax and watch the sunset. I set up my chair and poured a nice cold glass of whiskey, mixed a little cola, and I was set. The lady that was on the beach was slowly walking in my general direction. She looked different. She wore a light blue dress that went all the way down to the ground. She had her hair pinned up in an old-fashioned way. She got about 20 feet from me and stopped. She stared out at the crashing waves. I said, "Nice, isn't it?" She replied, "Yes, it is." I said, "I don't get out much myself, with work and all." She just stared out into the ocean. I then said, "So where are you from?" She replied, "The island." She was a beautiful woman, long dark hair, eyes that were hazel, soft skin, a real beauty. She then said that she was waiting for her husband who went out to sea but hadn't returned from his voyage. I asked, "What does he do?" She didn't answer the question, but said, "He's on the Governor Ames." I said, "Oh, never heard of it." She replied, "It's due back soon and I will see my husband. I've missed him so much." "Well, I hope so," I said. I tried to make more small talk with her, but she turned and just walked away. The next day I went into town for breakfast and visited a local museum. I especially liked the nautical museums. Lots of interesting things in there. I came across a room devoted just to shipwrecks of the Outer Banks. The Outer Banks is called the graveyard of the Atlantic. I went down the line looking at the different ships that met their fate on the dangerous shores of its waters. Came to one ship and my heart sank. I noticed the ship's photo on the wall. It appeared to be an old schooner. The ship was wrecked in a gale 4 miles off of Cape Hatteras on the North Carolina coast, having sailed on December 9th from Brunswick, Georgia, bound for New York with a cargo of railroad ties piled high on her deck. The schooner was driven onto Wimble Shoals and broke up within 2 hours. 13 of the 14 aboard perished, including the master, Captain King, and his wife. The sole survivor was one Joseph Spearing of New York. The name of that ship was the Governor Ames. But that's not the only impossible thing about this vessel. But that of the date of its sinking, December 13th, 1909.